It is one of the largest seizures of illegal arms by the Customs Service. Officials placed the shipment under surveillance from its destination in Turkey after suspecting illegal activity.
We followed diligently as the importer of this container attempted to circumvent our procedure through the outlet of a private bonded terminal.
Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you once again to our today's episode of this program. And today, this one at the country when we say all of us day, right? I believe say when I don't see that video from the introduction of this very broadcast, although they leave you to watch the full content. Yes, this one at the country when it be say all of us day. Now, it with the C-40-feet container loaded with ammunitions, they enter this country before the eyes of our security agencies. Now, at all, thank God they intercept this very container, which is they discover and say, not be from the federal government of Nigeria. If they come all the way from China, who load down? Where they follow down? Who they responsible? This one not be business of children. And this one a container when it be say it worth over 4 billion naira. All right. You know the reason why I be say with the laugh. The reason not pass the journey when it be say with the sea from here. Where would they use our legs they go as Nigeria? They very, very far. It no near at all at all. All right. Before we move on again, help us to like this video, because the more you like this video, the more YouTube they recommend that to people. Video like this need to reach every hands of every Nigerians, even the ones when they be say not be Nigerians, for them to know the kind of games when they be say the federal government of Nigeria and also the politicians they use or they play for this country. All right. Now I will leave you listening to this one first. I'll come back for more.
It is one of the largest seizures of illegal arms by the Customs Service. Officials placed the shipment under surveillance from its destination in Turkey after suspecting illegal activity.
We followed diligently as the importer of this container attempted to circumvent our procedure through the outlet of a private bonded terminal. The suspicious container was subjected to thorough physical examination. The result reveals the following alarming contents. Number one, we had inside the container 844 units of assorted rifles. Number two, 112,500 pieces of live ammunition.
It is a major breakthrough in the government's effort to curb revenue leakage, but more importantly, its implication for national security. Some persons have been arrested in connection with the shipment, but their identities were not made public.
These rifles and ammunition were concealed using various items such as doors, furniture, plumbing fittings, and leather bags. The duty paid value, if we are to calculate the value and the duty paid of the container itself, is estimated at 4 billion.
The Customs Service handed over the seizure to the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, whose job is to trace, document, store and destroy illegal weapons.
This handover is not merely a procedural formality. It represents a commitment to international best practices in the safekeeping and destruction of intercepted and retrieved illegal weapons. By consolidating our resources and coordinating our actions, we can prevent any risk of diversion or loss of these arms and ammunition.
Authorities have promised thorough investigation to unravel the motive, the sponsors and end users of these arms.
All right, my great and wonderful people. I believe say una don't see everything by una self. Okay, may we ask ourselves question. This one a business of small picking or Okada rider or Fulani herdsmen. Abi, Even though say na Fulani herdsmen business na it be this very one, na top politicians na dem will fit place demand for such a container. We dey talk about container when e be say e worth over 4 billion naira. Na it we dey talk about so. And e successfully enter Nigeria all the way from Turkey. E enter Nigeria clear. And apart from that, you will tell us say they not discover am and they not season am. Yes, now so they will tell you say they don't season. You know hear wetin they talk? They talk say they want go destroy am. Nigeria police not get weapon. No. They not get army not get weapon. They seize all these ones from illegal means. If it not be deceit, when it be say it there for the DNA of the federal government of Nigeria and also the top custom officers, when it be say they come outside like this for this interview, they tell the whole world how foolish they and also they call Nigerians say we not get sense upstairs. They tell us say they will go destroy weapon like this, and at the end they will pass back, release these weapons for the hand of those people when they import them into this country, Nigeria. After it be said, then they said don't successfully receive their own free or fair share for all this whole issue. And they will tell Nigerians say they don't destroy them. Whereas this weapon still go back to the hand of those people where it be say yes, they bring them for inside this country and use and carry out their mission when it be say they make them import them to this country. Now the country when it be say we did now it be this very one. You will tell me say successfully say custom will truly destroy weapon like this when Nigeria police not get weapon. All right, now what did they want make you hear? Now it be that very one. And now so it don't continue to dey happen. Now it's they happen before your very eyes. So all right, I'll leave you to share your own opinion with us on the comment section concerning that very one, even as I take you down to this other video when it be so we receive from Barrister Dele Farotimi. We'll come back for more.
In looking at the question of leadership, because very often in Nigeria we are quick to point at leadership as the basis of our problems. And whilst even I have been guilty of this in the past, I am beginning to suspect that it is actually quite simplistic to say that the Nigerian problem is leadership. And don't worry, I'm not buying into that nonsense that is even just as simplistic. The one that I would say is a problem of followership. Nonsense. If you're saying it is a problem of followership, you're suggesting that there is leadership. So, but don't let's get ahead of ourselves. We'll take it one at a time. But I would like to layer my sermon this morning on a Yoruba wisdom. And it is the one found in the Yoruba proverb. It says, Amokun. Amokun ẹrù ẹwọ olórí lẹ̀ ń wò ẹ̀wò ìsàlẹ̀. What does this mean? You say to the crippled man hobbling along that the load that is on his head is imbalanced and is cured. And he says to you, why do you focus on what is on my head? Why don't you examine my feet, the foundation of my being? The Nigerian problem of citizenship and the leadership question are foundational in nature, and it is best to attempt to explain this by looking at the doctrine of citizenship or its meaning. What does it mean to be a citizen? What is citizenship? I have spoken about this at great length. I've written about it at great length. I shouldn't have to spend too much time explaining what a citizen is or what the concept of citizenship is about. But for the benefit of those who are coming across me for the first time or just for the sake of completeness, shall I say, I would attempt a concise definition. A citizen is a member of a state that is governed by law. You get that? A member of a state governed by law. Note that I didn't say a democratic state. I said a state governed by law. So a Chinese person, even though China is not a democracy, quote and unquote, is a citizen of a country governed by law because arbitrariness cannot apply to the Chinese person, save and except as prescribed by the law. So, China is governed by law, and the people who live within its boundaries are equally governed by law, be those the rulers or the ruled. This is the critical difference between states governed by law and those that are governed by impunity or the will of men. Okay? So, yes, you carry a Nigerian passport. You have been lied to multiple times. You've embraced the lies and you've told yourself that you are a citizen. But the country whose citizenship you claim is not one that is governed by law. So, in reality, you are not a citizen. We can discuss what you are, we can agree what that might be at a later date, but the one thing that we can all agree on is the fact that you are not a citizen. If you doubt it, I'll remind you of Boratai's convoy. You remember that one in Kaduna State? Remember we agreed the Kaduna State panel of inquiry established as a fact that 430 human beings were slaughtered. They were not citizens. Nobody was held accountable. Lekki Toll Gate massacre. Nobody held accountable. And you know what's worse? Some of you justified it for various reasons. The Shia were not Muslim enough, they are apostates, so they're not human beings, they could be killed. So they are not citizens, all right? So, and then the ones that Lekki Toll Gate, what are they doing there? They are hype up or something or the other. They are troublemakers, they are protesters, so they are deserving of murder. And some of you joined in line that it didn't happen. And even those of us who wailed and cried that it happened, what happened? Nobody was ever held responsible. Persons were promoted within the armed forces who were culpable in this. Nobody ever paid for any of those crimes. So let's be clear. You are a member of the Nigerian state, but you are not a citizen. All right? So let that one stay in one side first. Then the second leg of this subject, citizenship and the leadership question, is a subject of leadership. What is leadership? We speak about leadership all the time, and a lot of people make the error of thinking that whenever somebody occupies a high position in Nigerian office, perhaps a governor, a senator, a House of Reps member, a councillor, even an Oba or an emir, the assumption is that these are leaders. But these are fallacies. To lead, you must have a destination to which you're leading the persons that you have communicated to them and that they are following you to. There is a destination, there is a purpose to which you are leading. Leadership is about leading, going in a direction and people are following. Those are leaders, those who have vision and a destination in mind that they have either communicated or by sheer force of their character, people follow. Those are leaders. People without destinations in mind and who have communicated no vision behind which the people might queue is not a leader. Might occupy a leadership position, but that does not make the person a leader. Remember that Turkish proverb. It says very clearly that if you make a clown a king, the palace merely becomes a circus. The clown does not become a king. You have all kind of people who are not leaders occupying leadership position in Nigeria. And because of this, because of the absence of vision, they are leading the people astray because they have been given to their perversion. Leaders must have vision. Citizens must be ruled by law. There is a correlation between citizenship and patriotism. Patriots make leaders because it is when the person is steeped in the love of country, it is at that point that you begin to dream lofty dreams in relation to the country. You begin to see the country as an organism that is higher than the self. And it is at that point that you can envision beyond your own lifetime, because the vision is rarely ever for a single person's lifetime. If it is visionary, you cannot achieve it in your lifetime. But you have to communicate that vision, and it is the force of that vision by which you lead the people. So, we have people who sat in leadership positions who have no visions in their eyes. They're dead. The only thing they've been given to are essentially their appetites. Look, the concept of motherland speaks to a country that suckles, that nurtures the citizens, that is there like a mother. That is why they say, oh, my motherland. The Nigerian cannot speak to a motherland because the country does not nurture, because it is not anchored to the rule of law. Instead of nurturing, it is a most hostile space where EFCC men will stroll into a hotel and be slapping a woman for whatever reason. Soldiers who kill human beings unharmed for whatever reasons. A high government official will believe himself offended and imprison an innocent victim of the state for no justifiable reason. I was watching the Kenyan uprising, and I realized that the day after the uprising began, I believe 90 something people were hauled before the judge, and the police was asking for detention orders, and the judge released all of them. If it was a Nigerian situation, we'd probably be looking at 2 years whilst those protesters will still be in jail, and somebody will sit as a magistrate and find a basis upon which not to offer them bail, continuing to ask that the DPP just continues to find a reason to keep them in prison. I am told there are people from NSAS who are still in jail. Some of them haven't seen the inside of a courtroom. And we are in a democracy, and you are citizens.